Okay. While my cats take care of themselves in the background. Um, it's been about a week and a half since I saw the Superman movie in theaters. And now that I finally have the time and energy to actually record something, let's talk about James Gunn's Superman. First things first, I loved this movie. So yeah, welcome to Movie Corner. It's weird that it's just me, but it's been a while since I had the chance to see the movie. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about my thoughts on it, and if you've seen my hero reviews, it is notorious that I cannot stand the Snyderverse. It is a terrible franchise. The characters do not act like their counterparts in the comics, and for the longest time, I have been disappointed with every DC film that has come out. And Superman actually made me enjoy a DC film again. I actually enjoyed a DC film. And I haven't said that in a very long time. I honestly think the last DC film I really enjoyed, aside from, The Batman with Pattinson, was The Dark Knight. I like The Dark Knight, and I liked Blue Beetle. But aside from that, I have not really liked a lot of DC movies since I started doing reviews. And I feel like it's just one of those things that I went in with very, very, very low expectations, and my expectations were blown out of the water. I did not see myself walking out like I have wanted to walk out, like when I wanted to walk out of Justice League and so many other DC films. So, for me to say that I enjoyed it means something to me anyway, simply because I am a Marvel girl. I have always enjoyed Marvel films, and I believe the main reason I haven't been a big fan of DC is because of how dark they tend to make their films. But in this, your characters actually feel human, outside of, them not being human. But they actually feel like people. And that's part of the biggest issue I've had with DC, because the Snyderverse, they don't feel like people. Every single character in the Snyderverse is just broody. There is no other emotion outside of brood. And, the Flash, I guess, would be the comic relief of that universe. But with the Snyderverse, I just never enjoyed it. And it's part of why I've taken my time with reviewing the Snyderverse, but I will eventually get to everything. But let's talk James Gunn verse. First things first, I enjoyed this movie so well, I actually bought the prequel novel and listened to that on Audible, and that was pretty good, but we won't go into that. So let's get out of the way and peel that political band-aid off to address the anti-woke mob. And start with Superman has always been political. Since his inception, he has been a political person. Since his inception, he has been what MAGA now claim as woke. He's never been this conservative person that side of political aspects seem to think he always has been. He has always been for the everyday person and not just one specific demographic. So the whole concept of James Gunn made Superman political. No, he has always been political. And if you don't comprehend that, then you've either never actually read a Superman comic, or you don't actually understand the entire point of his character. That out of the way, my biggest thing I enjoyed about this film was Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. I loved Luthor in this. And I've gone on multiple times in multiple reviews. I have said a lot that I am tired of seeing Lex Luthor being the only Superman villain that we ever get. In the past couple of movies, we've gotten, like, you go through all 6 Superman, or 7, go through all 7 Superman movies. We get Zod twice and his minions. We get Nuclear Man, which was made for the 4th movie. We get Lex Luthor in every other film. Can we please have a Superman movie with a villain outside of Lex? I want to see Bizarro. I want to see Parasite, Livewire, fucking Lobo, which I know is supposed to be the villain for Supergirl, which I'm excited for. Not that the 1980s Supergirl was any good, but where's Brainiac? The one time we get Darkseid, he's barely in the fucking movie. The one time we get Doomsday, he's killed with a fucking spike through his chest. And just all the big, like, come on, throw Toyman into the beginning of the movie and make him the minor villain of the film. Either way, Nicholas Hoult was a great Lex Luthor. He portrayed the billionaire obsessed with Superman so well. He did an amazing job. I did love I want to say her name was Rachel. I should have pulled this up beforehand. Yeah, Rachel Brosnan. I loved her portrayal of Lois Lane. She felt like a live-action version of the cartoon version. That's the best explanation I can give. I really enjoyed the Superman cartoon growing up. And he felt, or she felt, like that version of Lois. So Lois was great, Lex was great, Hot Girl was amazing, and I really, really enjoyed Isabella's version of her, and I really hope we get more of that version of Hot Girl. And then blah blah blah. I can't talk today. Metamorpho was great. Seeing him on the big screen was great for my nerdy ass, especially his baby. And then Eddie, I cannot pronounce his name, and I do not want to try to pronounce his name because I really don't want to pronounce his name wrong. But Eddie has redeemed himself in the name of superhero films, because he actually played Mr. Terrific perfectly. He felt 1000% like Mr. Terrific. And he is such a better role for him over Darwin in First Class, because we don't talk about Darwin. But I really enjoyed the amount of screen time that Mr. Terrific got. And that's one of the things that a lot of people hated about this film, which I don't understand why. We're trying to build a world, and we're trying to build a universe. And everyone is upset that the supporting characters got a lot of screen time over Superman getting a lot of screen time. What more did you want? The plot required supporting characters to help find the hero that is being captured. What more did you want? And David Cornsweet, I feel, is going to be a great hero. Like, I'm probably going to get flack for this, but while I like Henry Cavill as an actor, he was a terrible Superman. I've said it in multiple reviews. I cannot stand his lack of emotion throughout every film he's in. And that's probably the main reason I couldn't stand the Snyderverse, because Superman, the character who is supposed to have emotions and everything like that, had no emotions in the Snyderverse. Anyway, back to the Gunverse. So, spoilers. The basic plot is honestly mirroring life as of right now, where a lot of people have lost hope in the world as of right now because of all the wars that are constantly going on, and it never seems to end. That's a whole nother video. But in this world, two of the made-up countries are going at war at each other. And you find out... I don't want to spoil too much, but throughout the event of the film, you find out that, Lex is behind everything. And the big thing with the movie is that the message that Superman is sent with through his parents gets convoluted and changed around to make the world turn their backs on Superman. Sort of like the Snyderverse, but sort of like a lot of other Superman stories. But the whole aspect of it is they never go back on what is said in that message. So, as far as we know, that is the actual message that was sent with him. And because he didn't know the second half of it, became a different person. Which is the whole concept of context helps everything. Because what if he did have the whole message? Would he be a different person? Etc., etc. But the movie is 3 years after he's become Superman, which I am so glad they went the route of skipping a fucking origin film. I was really worried about a brand new universe getting yet another 2 to 3 hour movie with half the movie being the origin. It's annoying, and you can only review so many superhero movies seeing the same fucking origins over and over again. But, that's just me. I've been doing this for 15 years, so good God, I'm old. Anyway, the whole thing with the plot is, you find out Lex is behind everything, because of course he is, and you find that he's got this super max alien prison that he puts Superman into it, and that's the main reason why the other supporting characters are so important to the plot, because he's literally thrown into a jail cell that, because Metamorpho's baby, he's forced to force Superman around kryptonite. So the whole plot is, the other people can be just as super as Superman. And one of the things that I've read constantly is he gets his ass kicked the whole video, or the whole movie. Superman's not invulnerable. He just can take a wallop and get back up. He's not some I can, never be hurt type of hero. He's literally you keep hitting me, I'm going to get back up and kick your ass, even if you make my mouth bleed. Like, you see him bleed in the comics constantly. But I've been ranting for a little bit. So, final thoughts is, I really enjoyed this movie. Like with all my other reviews, I'm not going to do a full review of this until next year, because I tend to wait till the movie's out on DVD so I can buy the movie so I can review it. So I will do a Superhero Critic episode on this in the future. But my final thoughts of the the movie as of now is, I really enjoyed it. I actually, for once, enjoyed a DC film in theaters. Was it the perfect movie? No. But I really did enjoy myself in the theater. And the best thing about this movie is my spouse, Faye, is not a huge fan of Superman at all. Like, they've never really enjoyed the concept of Superman. But for them to enjoy the movie enough to actually want to watch more of the Gunn universe Burst as it comes out. Oh, great. Hiccups halfway through a video. For them to enjoy it enough says something. And I am really looking forward to the rest of the DCU. So, if you haven't seen it, I know it's still in theaters. Go see it. Prove the naysayers wrong. It's actually a really good film. And with that, thank you for watching Movie Corner. And thank you for watching.